Dear students, so this is our first video session after the holidays, and I hope the holiday had been great for all of you, as of course we have experienced something unique in these holidays. That session with Bobby, the programs where you take part and you showed something which we could never imagine that you were capable of such kinds of things. There also, we enjoyed the whole programs, whole sessions, and probably this is the first time we are spending our holidays so fruitfully. So now, after that, we will start our regular lessons, and today I will begin with numbers of noun. I think all of you are acquainted with the term noun. It denotes the name of anything or any person, whatever it is. You have already read the types of nouns like proper, common, abstract, material, collective, and these are the things you have already read. Now is the time we will learn something about the numbers of noun. This is very interesting, and I hope you will find it equally interesting as I have found it when I was of your age. So see, there are certain rules. See, instead of memorizing the plural forms of nouns, which are numerous, you cannot just memorize all the nouns and their plural forms. So tactically we will be in an advantageous position if we read the rules which are less in numbers, and then it will be easier for us to remember what the plural form of that particular word should be. So it begins with adding s to the singular noun, which are very much common for all of us: boys, tables, coats, dollars, owls, plays, cattle, not cattle, sorry, that was a mistake. It will be cats, dogs, and all these type of things. The reason I said that cattle will not be used as cattles, you will come across about the rule later in this same video. Then only you can understand why I said I cannot say cattles, rather I have to say cat, whatever. So what we were talking, that adding s to the singular form of noun, which are boys, tables, coats, and etc. Now here another rule is there associated, that is adding es to the nouns ending in o. If that particular word ends with o, and remember one more thing, if that o is preceded by consonants, then only we have to add es in order to turn it into a plural form. Here it is written buffaloes. So if you strike off that es part, the main root word is buffalo, and that word is having an o, which o is again preceded by a consonant, that is l. In that case we are adding es to it. Same thing happens with mangoes, heroes, potatoes, cargoes, volcanoes, and such other things. But you know what? Exception is also a rule, and this rule is also having an exception. See the exceptions, that is dynamo, solo. These are generally foreign words: ratio, canto, memento, quarto, piano, photo, stereo. These are the words. Though these words are ending with an o, which o is again preceded by some consonants, but still we will not add es to it, rather we will have to add single s after the word as suffix in order to make it plural. Come to the next rule, where it is said that by changing y into ies. Yes, again, if a particular word is ending with y, and that y is preceded by a consonant, then in order to make it plural we have to add IES by omitting the particular letter Y. So first you have to omit the letter Y, and then in its place you have to add IES. So Y that is preceded by a consonant gets supplanted, and in its place we write IES. Now see, pony, navy, dictionary, and such other like that. There are another some sort of words where you can find the word is ending with F or EF. So if a particular word is ending with F or EF, in order to make it plural, we will only omit F or EF, and in their place we will write VES. See, if you just remember the rules, you don't have to memorize all the plural forms of these words like thief, thieves, leaf, leaves, wife, wives, knife, knives. Not that. You don't have to memorize anything. Just to memorize the rule, and the moment you will see the word having F or EF at its end, then automatically you can make it plural without an error by writing it by adding VES in place of F or EF. That's how the same things happen there. Thief, thieves, leaf, leaves, wife, wives, knife, knives. There are certain exceptions to it also, and those are brief, belief, dwarf, grief, guff, safe, and such other things. Now next, come to the next rule, that is by changing inside vowel. So another certain rules and technique to change a singular noun into a plural noun. Here we adopt another rule, another technique, that is by changing the inside vowel. So in between the beginning letter and the ending letter, there will be certain vowels, and we will only change the vowels in order to express the same word in plural form. Like man, beginning letter is M, ending letter is N, and in between A is there. So we will change the vowel A and we will change it with E, and now the word becomes man. Woman, women. Goose, double O is replaced by double E. Geese. Mouse, OUS is replaced by ICE, mice. Foot, double O is replaced by double E. Feet, tooth, again double O are replaced by double E, that is teeth. So generally if there is double O, it is they are replaced by double E, and in case of OUS they are replaced by ICE. Same thing happens with louse, lice. These are the very rules. If you remember the rules, you don't have to memorize the plural form of all these words. Just to remember a single rule, and you can write so many plural forms of the same kind. By adding S to the principal word of a compound noun, that is very, very, very much important. Now, principal word means the root word. Sometimes nouns are formed with another noun. Both these nouns, they make up a singular sense. These type of nouns we call compound noun. Suppose admiral, brother, sister, father, mother. These are the root words. Now if you do it like that, father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, so this is compound. But the root word, the principal noun is father, because in-law relation is getting generated having its root in the principal word, that is father. Father-in-law, mother-in-law. So father or mother is the particular root word that is telling what kind of relationship is there, and especially if the relationship is in-law relations. Vice admirals, vice presidents, which is the particular word? The chief now is president. And another word we are forming, adding vice before it. So this is compound noun. But here also, if you want to make it plural, you have to find out the chief, principal or root word, the root noun, and then you have to add s with it. Now the principal word is here brother. So in order to make it plural, you need to write brothers-in-law. Never write brother-in-laws, that is wrong usage. You have to write brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, vice presidents, vice chairmans, okay, vice admirals, like that. Now then comes another rule here, that nouns like sheep, swine, deer, cod, trout, salmon is a kind of fish, etc., they have the same form in both the numbers. Means if you are using them as singular or you are using them as plural, in both cases there won't be any kind of changes with the word. You can write sheep as singular and at the same time plural. Exactly the opposite rule is also there, which is not written here. There are certain nouns, they are plural in nature, though they do not take s, like cattle, like furniture, like scenery. You don't have to add s to it in order to express it in plural form, because they are plural in nature. You cannot say scenery of Darjeeling is or sceneries of Darjeeling are. Both are incorrect. You need to say scenery of Darjeeling are, furniture are, cattle are grazing in the field. That's how. Now the next rule is telling that units of counting, pair, dozen, score, gross, 100, 1000, etc. These are the things that you don't have to add s with it, and after it especially, if you are mentioning a number numerals before them. Like 2 dozen, 4 pair, you don't have to write 4 pairs, or 2 dozens. 3 score, you don't have to write three scores. That will be incorrect. 200, 200s, incorrect expression. 10,000, 10,000s, incorrect expression. 10,000 is the correct one. So because this 10, 2, 5, 3, 4, these are the numerals we are adding before these nouns, and that's why you cannot add s to it. But the same thing if we express it differently without mentioning the number, if it is uncountable, like hundreds of people have gathered, thousands of people have gone there, okay, in that case, dozens of eggs, like that. So there you can write dozens, no problem. But if you are adding 2 dozen, then you cannot add s. You have to write 2 dozen. Yes, plural will be there with the principal word, that is egg, pip, or whatever the things are there, banana, apple, whatever it is. 2 dozen apples. 2 dozens, incorrect. 2 dozen apples. Okay, that's how these are used. So if you are mentioning numeral before it, you have to write it intact without adding any s at the end of these words, like pair, dozen, score, gross, 100,000, etc. This is the particular rule. You have to very careful about all these things. So these are the things that I would request you to revise again and again. And after that, there are certain things which we have already discussed as far as I can remember. That there are certain instruments which are built with 2 parts. If you take away the one part, another part is completely unusable. It is of no use. So they can only be used if both the parts are joined together. So for their cases, we have to add s with it, otherwise it will not be possible for us. Like scissors, both the parts are there. Trousers, which is an article of dress. Spectacles, and of course certain diseases like measles, mumps. You cannot use measles or mump. You have to write measles or mumps. And also there are certain games like billiards, draughts. These are the games which you wear. If you want to mention them, if you want to name these games, you are bound to add s at the end of the word of that particular name of the game. Otherwise, it will not be complete. The expression will be incomplete. So billiards is the correct expression. If you say billiard, that is wrong. There are certain rules regarding that. And also there are certain collective nouns which I told you earlier. Cattle, people, vermin, yeomanry, no s with it. Remember one thing, in case of people, you cannot use s if you are using it in general. But the time you are using people to denote any particular ethnicity, peoples of Andaman, particular ethnicity is there. In that case, I can use people. Otherwise, in order to mention a group of a group of men or women, in that case, I have to write there people. I cannot write peoples. Peoples can only be written if I am mentioning a particular ethnicity. There are certain other nouns like annals, thanks, proceeds, assets. Environs, nuptials means conjugal, related to marriage. Tidings, it is written tiding, I should have written there tidings. S is omitted there mistakenly. You correct it with S. Here also we have to add S after it. We cannot write them without the S. Now there are certain plural forms which are commonly used in singular. Plural forms, but their sense is singular, like mathematics. This is the subject. Physics, study. Innings, news, mechanics, politics. These are the things, name of subject or study. In that case we add S, but that doesn't mean that particular name is written in plural. Rather, they denote a singular subject or study or whatever the things which is written there. Incorrect and correct usages are also enumerated here, written there vividly. I hope you will read these examples carefully, and if you read the examples after reading the rule, then I believe it will be really very much clear, if not clearer for you, and you won't forget it anymore. So it is better you read the rule first and then you check the usage, how this rule is used in the sentences. There are certain abstract nouns or material nouns like friendship, care, gold, silver. You cannot write silvers or friendships. So these are the nouns that always take plural verb, but you cannot add s with it. Never. So see, care, I cannot add s, but at the same time I have to write there is, which is a singular verb. So these material and abstract noun, they will always take singular verb and they will never attach s after them. This is the particular thing you have to remember. Though it is written friendship, you cannot write friendships or friendship are or friendships are, all are wrong. You have to write friendship is, pain is, happiness is, gold is, silver is, like that. So till that part I hope you read at home, revise it properly. And the next part, that is zone of caution, I would request you to read that part carefully at your home, and whenever you come across any kind of problem regarding comprehending the lessons which is written there, you do contact me, and especially during the live online classes, you raise your questions. That these are the chapters, these are the parts which I cannot understand. Right then, I will try my best to make it clear for you. So that's all for today, students. We will meet again, and let's call it a day.